All right, let's go. Here we go. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my 6G boosted co-host,
Karen.
and we are live and bivalent coming at you all through your speakers, wherever you listen to this podcast. All right, we got the Omicron all up in us.
We got that new. That shit was so new. They was like, hold up, wait, the computers, we got to get the shit together. We actually run it differently. And this is like a one-shot thing, and it sounds like they making it where this is like the flu shot, how you just get it one time and then you wait a whole year. I hope that's what it is. I know that's what your mom was saying. Like this version is like a one-time thing, so you just get it like annually, so you don't have to keep getting like the re-ups.
We'll see, but I just know that I got it. I'm gonna get as many as they tell me to get.
Right.
And shout out to the person on our Facebook page who probably don't even listen to the podcast, but said, "I don't know about this. I got 3 shots, but this the shot where it feel like they trying to get you."
Trying to get you. Coronavirus didn't
I don't know what it means.
It didn't stop.
I didn't ask for clarification. I, of course, just deleted it off the
thank you
the old page there, because we don't spread vaccine misinformation on the Blackout Tips. But yeah, I literally just said I don't know what this person is talking about and moved on.
Yeah, it didn't stop. I got my flu and COVID shot. Last shot I got my flu and COVID shot. I'm like, bitch, let's get them all at the same time. I ain't got time to make 2 appointments. Let's get it over with, dog.
Yeah, so that's what we dealing with, guys. Is
this what we drawing the line?
They are trying to get you.
Who is they? Coronavirus, big corona?
With the Omicron update.
This one is the new. This one is like, hey, dog, we actually trying to fight against both of them. And you're like, nah.
They trying to get you. Okay?
Let's sit your dumb ass down.
All right, let's get into the show. All right, we have things to talk about, things to discuss. The first thing we need to do is talk about the people that gave us money, because it's a feedback episode. And money talks, okay? Money is people. I don't know if y'all heard from the Supreme Court, but money is people. And so the people that give us money, we got to get them a shout out first. And let's go.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's Own, Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tied to the Black Guy Tips.
New day, new pay. What can I say? All right, let's talk about these people. Unbridled Love, Latricia C, Dr. Professor Bambi, Jason F, Kevin W, our girl Falcons Diva, Ken M, Derek LW, Lawrence C, Linwood C, no relation, Zach from the Living Corporate Podcast, Grace N, Tracy J, Cedric W, Preston from the Slang of Ages podcast. We were on there. We had a good time talking about music. Dostra J is the last person, and that's everybody. Thank you for the money. That's fast. We ever got through it. Okay, that means y'all niggas wasn't giving enough. Pump for Jesus, save your soul.
What the hell is wrong?
Okay, I need this money. I don't think y'all understand. Okay, I don't care about the 5-star reviews if I'm getting money. Okay, you ask me what do I want more, the 5-star review or the money? It's always the money. Okay,
always the money.
Okay, y'all knew what kind of podcast y'all was listening to. We some hustlers over here, and we been hustling,
baby.
Okay,
I just want you to know.
You knew this the whole time. That's why you tuned in.
It's going down.
Well, I'm a jack-toting, person holding nigga on your damn street. Jumping, bumping, we working out that damn face. All right, sorry. Let's get to the 5-star reviews. We didn't get none. See, Karen, you were scolding me for talking about the money, but then the 5-star reviews are free. How many new ones did we get?
No, we didn't.
0.
Y'all don't love
so
us
give me
no
the money
more.
then. That's what I'm saying, Karen. I can't
Y'all
drive a
don't love us
Ferrari.
no
How am I supposed
more.
to feed my kids with no 5-star reviews?
No 5-star reviews. But they love us though.
But they love us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see me at the family
We the
reunion.
best. Mm-hmm.
Don't come hug my
you
neck.
You helped me get through a divorce. You helped me with my PhD.
You see
helped me on my job.
You see me at the check cashing face. You just keep it moving. Don't make eye contact. Don't even come over and dap me.
I don't believe y'all love us.
Right. Now let's get to these people that left comments. Okay. We had 4 episodes last week. And it started with our feedback episode, Dragon Twitter. 3 comments. Who do you think the first comment is from? Karen.
Appia.
Correct. Appia
Let's
from
go, Appia.
Germany.
We can count on you, Appia.
I didn't even know who Ariel Spears. His name is Aries Spears, so I feel like this is triple the shade. I didn't even know who Ariel Spears was. Now I Googled him, and his older pictures, I had to say, he's going at the Lizzo scenes to show some kind of self-hate. He should try to accept himself or change if he is unhappy, but leave other people alone.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's sad when it's so obvious what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see it myself, but Randolph Terrence, friend of the show, comedian, friend in real life, said that there's a video of Ari Spears like either crying or complaining about how he's afraid for his career now in the wake of that resurfacing of that clip, the lawsuit about the pedophile joke stuff. And the whole thing is just, bro, you could have sat there, ate your food, and mind your motherfucking business.
Yep, you kicked the hornet's nest. You bought everything up.
Lizzo literally don't be bothering nobody. And honestly,
because what about thinking about you?
The thing you have to understand about the internet, and even the people that are good, right? The people that were like, they love Lizzo, and they just, she got Lizzo seemed like a very positive person. The good people on the internet are the same as the bad people on the internet. Meaning they want to participate in all the shit that the bad people do that we call bad, the people that harass, the people that dox, the people that pull up old shit and don't let people move on, even if they apologize.
They do the same thing.
They want to do it. They don't always do it. They're holding back. They're holding back. And so every once in a while, something happens where the quote unquote good people get to go both barrels on somebody.
Yep.
Ari Spears jumped into the good people hive. Because them Lizzo fans is good people. They mostly don't fuck with nobody. So they jumped into the good people hive.
And they was like, the fuck you doing here? Fucking up the vibe. Nope.
They was like, finally.
They was like, finally. We bother nobody. When I say nobody, they was like, we mind our business.
Like this is the place where Lizzo said, I'm gonna take Spaz out my album. Like,
right.
This is the opposite of the go fuck with people hive. But they are itching. They're chomping at the bit. They love fucking with people. Everybody does. Everybody loves being mean and snarky and snassy. But it's just like, I don't want to be seen as a bad person for doing that. Well, now they don't have to be a bad person because you made a pedophile sketch, nigga. It is open season on you. Now they are gonna fat shame and dox and all the shit that you're not supposed to do. They're gonna do it because now it's like I get to be a bad guy for a good cause. So anyway, I don't really feel any sympathy for him losing out career opportunities and shit based off of this. Not just the video, but just this is who he's been for a minute.
Yes,
he's the guy that says controversial, edgy things, and like 1 out of 10 of them go viral, and that's the only times you ever hear him. I've never seen anybody do a stand-up bit of his. People don't share sketches from him. People don't even really share his impressions. It's just, what are your thoughts? Can you say something that'll piss a lot of people off? That's the only thing you know him for. Mwangangi says, regarding the poll question, which was, what did Rod do to earn this disrespect? He said, Rod definitely knows what he did. Okay, Mwangangi, I see. I got your number. Iman says, for the poll, I chose he knows what he did because it was funny. Also, you know how women have dreams that their husband did something and they wake up mad about it? Maybe that's it. Maybe folks had a dream where you did something to our beloved Karen and they're still mad. Just a theory. Love y'all, Iman. So the poll is, what did Rod do to earn this disrespect? Because there was a lot of disrespect going on last week. And I don't know where it came from. I don't think I did anything.
I don't think you did anything.
But it was just like a lot of like, hey, Rod, and hey, Karen, and that other nigga that's there.
That Negro.
Like, I thought we was cool. But they said the choices were nothing. I'm surprised as you are, or he knows what he did. 75% of y'all said I know what I did. What did I do? I don't know. And 25% say nothing. I'm as surprised as you are. Those are the angels. Those are the good people. Those are y'all can be my friends. The rest of y'all suck a dick. The people with money on Spotify said 46%, nothing. I'm as surprised as you are. Now, shout out to them. Because, see, when you're getting money out here, you know what it's like to be hated on for no reason.
For no reason.
Other than just the fact that you're doing life better than other people. And that's clearly what these people chose to be. On a day where you could wake up and choose to be anything, you chose to be a jealous, hateful motherfucker. And look at you. Look at you. Clicking on polls and trying to make me feel bad. But the 54%, with the still a majority, said, I know what I did. So probably Arby's Hive. Thank you, Serena, was a comment on Spotify. We got some replies to it. Robert says, looking forward to the evolution. Also, in regards to Hot D, House of the Dragons, while 12 is young, Allison is actually only 14. Maybe he chose Allison because he didn't have to wait to bed her. I would agree with you, Robert, if they didn't show how much he agonized over that decision.
Yeah.
Like, I really think what happens
age mattered.
I think what happens, not just the age, Karen. I'm talking about even marrying Allison, who was 14 or at 15 at the time.
I don't think he wanted to remarry.
Either when they showed him, they never, and they took, and I have to give them credit, they took the time to show us. There's no interactions in their bedroom where she talks to him alone, where it gets like creepy and like, oh, he's trying to fuck her, or this is all about him trying to have sex with a young girl. I think the show is not the kind of show that pulls punches. So if that would have been how they wanted to characterize this king, they would have shown us. They would have gave us at least some illusion that it wouldn't have been a will he choose her or will he not at that table. It would have been like, oh, he's definitely gonna choose her because he wants to fuck her. So I think you have to give a little bit more credit. These characters are written a little bit deeper than I think even the first Game of Thrones. Nelson says, end of an era, there will never be another like her. Yes. Serena the GOAT says, Aaron. James says, thank you, Serena the GOAT. And a lot of GOAT emojis in here. Tennis racket emoji. 2 hands up emoji. Forever standing ovation to the greatness of Serena Williams. She the best. I'm tempted to launch a limited edition NFT in honor of Serena, but have to pause. I'm about to be part of Rod Startup, says Raphael. And Tamara says the greatest of all time 3 racket emojis, 4 black clapping emojis. You love 4 black clapping emojis, don't you? Freezer Dicks was our next episode. Do we have any comments on YouTube? Oh yeah, we have comments on YouTube too.
Okay, I didn't know if we did. That's what I was asking.
No, sorry. Philip Godot says, I listen on Spotify, then come here to leave a like. You two are the best. Thank you for the like. Okay, we love to see a like. It makes our day. All right, now Freezer Dicks. We got no comments on this episode. So apparently y'all just hate Joe and Amy from American Timelines, even though we loved them and had a great time and a beautiful discussion. We did
have a great time. I guess we just covered everything. So it was like, we don't need to add no more to it.
J-Lo and Ben Affleck faux plantation locale for their wedding. I'm upset, I don't care, or I love it.
I don't care.
92% did not care. 8% was upset, 0% loved it. Let's check what the numbers are on Spotify. 82% didn't care, 18% were upset, and 0% loved it. So here's what I gotta say about the faux plantation. Nobody loves it. I think we can say that pretty definitive. 0% in both polls loved it. So then, like, why do they want to do it? Now, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not offended by it. I really could care the fuck less in a way. But I do wonder, like, how much do white people love plantations that they like built a fake plantation to do a wedding? Like, you probably could have went with any kind of style house, but
yes, you could have.
I don't know. The last thing I'll say too is I don't know enough about real estate and houses. Is every big house in the South a plantation if it's on a lot of land? Like, how does that work?
I don't.
What determines it? Like, if you have Victorian style pillars at the front of your house, I still gonna think even if it has a lot of land, I'm still gonna think it's a plantation.
Do you have slave quarters? That's the question I asked.
Well, no, I doubt they have slave quarters at the faux plantation. You know, I doubt that. But I'm just saying it's clearly a style of architecture.
Okay, I'm with you now.
Because that's what they say. He built a faux plantation. Now I doubt he built the faux slave quarters. So then it's like,
I figured out we're gonna be fake. They just faked it all out. My bad.
Yeah, like what are the styles that makes a house a plantation house versus
I don't
just
know. There had to be some standards.
A mansion or something, or a ranch house is like one story normally. I don't know. It's just crazy to think about. But yeah, no comments. Okay. And were there any comments on YouTube? Just one. Fun Crusher says, great show. Thanks for posting it on YouTube. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. No comments on Spotify either.
I'm going to them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I started with this one first this time.
Okay.
Because I did it out of order the last time.
No problem.
Mistake.
It's all good.
Oh, and I forgot. There was one reply to the last comment that said, "Me too, Philip." So people interacting with each other over there on YouTube. Get over there. History for jerks is the comment I left. Rachel says, I started listening to the podcast after hearing this episode, and the random wrestling facts and songs of the day from the Jeffrey Dahmer ep had me rolling, as well as the podcast nicknames from ep 1. Ernest says, we're leaving America, y'all. All aboard. # crazy train. Enjoy, fam. Raphael says, I enjoy Amy and Joe. I'm going to be checking out their podcast. So much good stuff in this episode. History is a must for me. I love learning to upgrade my knowledge, so do appreciate their work. Yes. Aaron says, white children are the future white people. Karen. They are. Marvin says, hey y'all, I don't know if you check out the auto transcript or not. Hilarious. Thanks for the great show as always. Peace. I don't even know how to check that out. I think it's just a thing they do automatically on Spotify.
If it's under a certain time frame, they will. If it's over a certain time frame, I don't think they translate.
Oh, okay. All right.
You can click on it. Sometimes, y'all, it's wrong.
I'm just glad they're doing something, because that was one of those problems where a small mom and pop podcast like us can't solve that.
Right.
Like, especially with as much content as we make, we're never going to be able to go in there and really like transcript our own podcast and closed caption it and stuff. And I think big companies taking that on has been really helpful, because, you know, you want people that are hearing impaired or whatnot to be able to still enjoy a podcast.
Yeah, and the whole thing is we're hosting podcasts that should be included. Like, we want everybody to listen to as many podcasts as possible. We invest in millions, possibly billions of dollars. We need to be able to be sure everybody that wants to has the ability to.
Episode 2596.
You okay over there?
Crack Attack. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm just adding a little flavor to the show, Karen. It's called putting some seasoning on it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm being seasonless. I
okay. I know you like doing the Salt and Pepper to Taste podcast, but some of us try to bring our A game.
I got to go get the Kanye pepper.
This is why Queen from Tea with Queen and Jay says I'm the only man that does a podcast to sound like you want to be here. Okay. Because I take the time. I don't just do the.
You actually kill.
I don't just pretend that the show is too stressful and I'm just barely giving y'all niggas the time of day, because oh God, here y'all come wanting another little podcast.
I'm gonna toss some Italian seasoning in there to make it taste a little bit better.
So it's Crack Attack, episode 2596. Abia says, I have 2 kids and I'm married. In my life, it didn't lead me to make less money, and having less money is quite the opposite. There are many different reasons for that. That you white. Yeah, I said it. White privilege. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Some are in me. I know that procrastination is not an option now. If I don't do shit immediately in 2 weeks, it will be too much to deal with. So my work mails are always at 0 in the evening, for example. This helps a lot. I think if I had always been as productive as I am now with kids, I would rule the world today. Maybe better. I don't. This seems very stressful. One other reason is that I know what I'm working for. The money we make is used for our family and for future investments to help us all. Mr. Appia has this kind of German government work where he cannot be fired unless he gets into a serious crime. This gave us possibility to buy a house early. This house is in a great location, and in 13 years, its value has 3 times as much as we paid. If I was single, I wouldn't have bought so early. That's for sure. But also, the kids are in school, and that is good and free. Well, yeah, I mean, you do live in a different country that cares about its citizens,
right?
I bet if they charged you for everything, it might be a different story. But yeah, they have health insurance. With my insurance, it's free family insurance we have here. My life is very full, but it's pretty good. Well, my question is, what about daycare and stuff? Did y'all have to pay for that in Germany?
Right,
or is that like
included?
A public service?
Right.
Because in America, they charge you to look after your kids while you're at work until they're at the age to go to school.
Which can be the cost of a house. Some people like, I can't have a house and pay for a house too.
In my family, all the women work because I come from working class people. As domestic workers and also in offices. The good thing about it, no one expected me to be a stay-at-home mother because I never wanted it. I have, despite being in a couple for 17 years, always kept my own bank account, and I love it. Interesting that you bring up Chicago. I love looking at real estate Instagram for fun. Yes, for fun. And I often wonder why you can get such great houses there for an okay price. You can buy there a small house in good condition for $300,000 sometimes. Here in my small city, no one knows in the world it's at least $600,000 per house. Yeah. I will say this, like, and then she posted a link on Zillow to like a house in Chicago that was $200,000 or something like that. I don't know shit about Chicago like that in the areas, but Chicago has like bad reputation nationally. Partially because of Republicans constantly saying it's a shitty place to live.
Right.
It all starts to blend together, and this must all be just a bad city, and
it's not.
Crime everywhere. So it could be that the effect of that, reputation. But I don't know enough about the market to truly know. And then of course, I don't think it's a study that we were talking about. So clearly, they're not talking about every person. There's going to be some women that don't fall into it.
Right.
But just the general, like, women without men, husbands and children having more money and doing better and owning more property and wealth. I mean, that makes sense to me. It made sense when we talked about it on the show. And honestly, you don't know what would have happened if you didn't get married or you didn't have a husband, Like, yes, maybe you become a lazy, terrible person, and it's exactly like you said, or maybe you find your motivation somewhere else. That I think raising a child and having a family is work and labor, and it requires effort. People always say marriage is work and all this stuff. So that work energy would have gone somewhere else, but it could have gone to a lot of different. It could have been a hustle, a hobby. It could have been friendships. It could have been self-care. Who knows what all it could be? But I take your meaning though. Karen, this is from Miko B.
Yes.
Talking about her optometrist appointment and admonishing everyone who hasn't gotten their eye exam yet before her glasses even came in had me cackling. You got me though. I scheduled the eye exam. Love to you both.
Yay! Get them eyes checked.
Yeah, a few people said they went and got the booster because of us.
Let's go.
I saw that. Like, oh yeah, I scheduled my appointment now. I was like, oh, you love to see it.
Go get that new as the kids call it.
Lakita says, in reference to the poll, of course, they should have aired President Biden's speech. And the poll was, should ABC, NBC, and CBS have aired Biden's speech?
Yes, because you know what they did air? Prince Charles. That nigga ain't even from here.
Right.
I'm sorry, I hate to be like that.
You gotta go hear about his old ass mama dying.
Right, every goddamn second of the hour.
This man gave a speech about democracy being under threat from people who are holding office, and they was like, that's too political. But this little bullshit ass royalty monarchy reality TV show, oh, I can't get enough motherfucking Apple News alerts about every fart they take over there. What the fuck is happening? But it was clearly too real for them. It has become evident that truth is seen as an attack on the Eurodactyls. As you pointed out again, this country is much more interested in centering their feelings than evidence-based statements. Case in point, I'm a content reviewer for an online platform. As I'm reviewing an account, I noticed the person has received a bad mark on their account for insulting a group of people. She was Asian, and they posted something about how white people are far more likely to obtain home loans in America than black people.
And that's a true statement.
My coworker had marked this as insulting a group of people for stating a fact, and yes, she was. Right. My heart rate shot through the roof because what the fuck is wrong with you people, and why are you so goddamn fragile? I started to seek out this coworker because I'm on 10, and are you allergic to fat? I calmed down, decided I didn't even feel like having a goddamn conversation, just removed the mark from the account.
Right.
Biden was spitting facts, and they don't like and the facts they don't like are divisive.
Right.
Or insulting. Currently, I'm low on fucks, and I can see that convo turning left quickly.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where people are like, y'all act like people don't see y'all responding to the fact that it's whiteness. If he'd have called out any other group, y'all have been motherfucking silent.
My thing is like, that's a very real life situation that you brought, where it's like, okay, I have a coworker, and it then becomes like your obligation, your duty to go confront this person and be like, do you understand the implicit bias of saying ball? And I think a lot of people that do have some level of power and autonomy, they do what you did, which is, I'm just gonna take the mark off and move on. I don't have time to educate and lecture this white person, but that white person may do it to a different coworker later on. And it's like, am I responsible for that because I didn't go talk to him? Should I make a stink? Should I be writing up to HR like, hey, look at this comment, we need some diversity training? It's that thing where, you know, the connections of diversity and blackness and stuff a lot of times put you in a position where you almost feel like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, and I understand people making both choices, because the thing is, you have to pick and choose your fight. You can't fight on everything. You'll be motherfucking exhausted, and you'll be these niggas online arguing and fussing and complaining all the time. You don't want to be that, because you will have no happiness and no joy in your life, because racism is relentless. Racism doesn't stop. Racism doesn't sleep. The second somebody tags out and dies, somebody else picks up the mantle, and they keep motherfucking burning the bitch down. So it's designed to wear you out. So you can't fight every single battle. So you have to pick and choose. And sometimes you got to be say, fuck it, not my fight, not today.
Evie says, I think it's interesting how Chris Rock doesn't see himself as a victim. He was a victim of getting the shit smacked out of him. But I think the word victim is one of those trigger words, like the word woke, that has been weaponized by narcissists and abusers, making it an undesirable thing to be. Being a victim is a state of fact, but no one wants to claim it because it makes them appear weak, especially men. I think a lot of it has to do with toxic masculinity as well. I doubt Chris will ever forgive Will based on the current statements, and that's okay. He isn't obligated to. But I also think Will is done talking about it, and the more Chris talks about it, people who previously supported him will get irritated and call him the victim he doesn't want to be viewed as. Yeah, I agree with all that, really. I mean, I don't know that Will's done talking about it, quote unquote. We'll see, because it sounded like he felt like there needed to be like, this is a process that there will be follow-up to. But I think as long as Chris Rock is uninterested in talking to Will Smith about it, people don't really want to hear Will Smith every day bring up this fucking slap and keep, like, at some point it's like, listen, the person that is the victim don't fuck with you and don't want to talk about it no more.
And it be like that.
Like, you bringing it up is going to be considered you being an asshole if the person don't want to talk about it. The other thing is, I think we'll see about the Chris Rock thing, but I think he's mostly talking about this because he's trying to bring it into his act, and he's touring. If you look at it, he's not really talking about it. He's doing his stand-up, and then media outlets are reporting it like he sat down and did an interview. But he's really working on material. That's why, if you paid attention, it hasn't really been the same sound bites going, or not sound bites, quotes. It's been different quotes, because I think he's working out like, what will people think is funny about this? And I think that's why you haven't seen people be like, he's going around saying he's Nicole Brown Simpson everywhere, because I don't think that was a bit that he had like sat down, written, and planned to do over and over again. He's trying out different things at different stops. So the point I'm trying to make is that may come to an end at some point once he does his stand-up special.
Correct.
The poll: should ABC, NBC, and CBS have aired Biden's speech? 100% of people said yes.
Yes. If I got to see Prince Charles in another fucking country, Joe Biden lives here, nigga.
Right. Like, come on now. We all know what this is. And then I'll go to the poll on Crowdcast. Crowdcast. What did I say? Anchor. Guys, I made a mistake. All right.
Anchor and YouTube.
YouTube doesn't have polls.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Don't have polls.
They have comments. And I'll get to those in 1 second. So the poll, 96% say yes, 4% say no.
Okay.
So I don't know who that one person was, but probably just trying to be controversial. Nelson says the cable news media needs a circus. Low key, MSNBC misses Trump.
All of them do. All of them miss Trump. People on both sides, quote unquote, miss Trump because Trump was the agent of chaos, and his chaos kept the news media cycles going. He always gave them content. He always gave them something to talk about. He always gave them something to cheer for, root against. He was like a forever content provider. And Joe Biden is boring. And nobody likes boring. Nobody likes the fact that we don't have a president that every fucking day something not hitting news. Everything he says is in breaking news. Like, they will never admit that. But that's what it became. And I can guarantee you they've seen the ratings tank. Because a lot of people are like, what the fuck am I here for? We got a reasonable president. Everything's not on fire. I can go back to living my normal life now. And they're like, nope, we got to get you here. So this is why they do shit like say you're not doing enough and all this shit, because they have to do things to keep people riled up, to keep the viewers here, because it's about viewership, it's about sponsors, it's about, you know, who gonna pay for these commercial breaks and shit like that on both sides when it comes to this.
Yeah, and the comment was crack attack. Sorry. People said doing a jig for a DUI test. What in the Reno? Oh, KJ said this. What in the Reno 911 is going on here? And no airtime for the president speak, from Reconstruction to Jim Crow, MLK to Nixon, Obama to Trump. Performative civility keeps us losing ground. The White family says, welcome to the glasses family, Karen. We be weary of those glasses wearers who say reading glasses are not real glasses. Jokers hating because we ain't blind.
Reading glasses is real glasses.
Raphael says, years ago, homegirl from TT was in my car, comes out, screams at me for not telling her that her cracker's open. I didn't know what she meant, looking for I guess cookies, but she meant butt crack exposed. I felt attacked.
I felt attacked.
And on YouTube, we got some comments for Crack Attack. Let's see what we got here. Leonard Brother says, Karen, welcome to Glasses City. We have all the snacks and drinks you want in here. Rod, come over to the dark side and get a Mac. I have a Samsung phone, but personal computer is an iMac. Come fuck with us, LOL. Rhea says, I hope listen. This is the one thing you have to give me credit for, okay? As much as I love my iPhone, and look, some of my best friends are, not iPhone, they're Android users. 8% of the people that listen to this podcast listen on like Android or something, right? I'm not an Apple stan. Like, I love my iPhone. I think it's simple, it's great, it works, it's cool, it's sleek, it's all those things. They vet their fucking app store, so I never have to worry about downloading some malware or some shit that, so like, I like my iPhone. It works for what I use it for, right? But like, I've never like yelled at somebody they better get an iPhone.
I don't give a fuck.
Like, if somebody said I'm buying a new phone, I won't be like, motherfucker, you ain't get an iPhone. Like, but the way these
Apple
niggas
ain't paying me.
The way these niggas are with this Mac shit,
they're like, Rod,
it's like a cult.
You got everything else.
Like, I told you, I already bought the laptop. What the fuck is the discussion? There's nothing for you to add here. I have it in my house. It's already set up.
We sorry, y'all. The purchase is made.
Jesus Christ.
That's hilarious. Yeah, the purchase is made. It's like, we got it. It's like, you got everything else. Go ahead and make the last step.
You pay them. They don't pay you. It's not, you're not an advertiser for them. they don't, like, what? Anyway, Rhea says, I hope listening here on YouTube is helping you get to your numbers up. It did. We are officially monetized on YouTube. You may see an ad or two every once in a while. Sometimes we may even be the ones getting paid from the ad, depending on how the copyright goes. So, hey, shout out to y'all. Y'all did that, man. Y'all said,
thank you.
Y'all got us enough listeners. Enough of y'all listen steady that the numbers went up, and so it's monetized. I ain't seen the check yet. It's probably small, but thanks for those that did that.
Yes, and yay. And the thing is, I understand the people that's like, hey, Roger, you got everything else with the Apple stuff. So Roger
I don't have everything else with the Apple stuff.
You got the watch, you got the AirPods, you got the iPhone.
I don't have the iPad. Never had one of those.
No, we never had an iPad.
I've never had a Mac except for that one Spotify gave us that didn't work because we couldn't connect to the network.
We couldn't get into it.
So yeah, I'm not. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. I'll tell you what, though, guys. I'll tell you what. First one, you niggas will buy me a Mac and send it to me. We'll see if it can convert me. Okay, I'll add it to my wish list on Amazon. And one of you niggas want to spend the however fucking much money
it's
that is.
It's a lot of money. They're very expensive.
Then I'll go ahead and do it. If not, shut the fuck up. Put your money where your mouth is. Start a GoFundMe or shut the fuck up. All right, let's see. That's what happens when you write up here talking about Rod and her little Karen and her little friend every week. Now you get the horns. Alicia says, "Wait, what happened to the Bullet Ball Extreme?" And I guess I forgot to say it.
So, and Bullet Ball Extreme.
The one time we didn't say it in 2,600 episodes.
They're gonna remember. Somebody waiting on that, Rod. They were like, "Look, Rod didn't say it. I got to let them know."
I didn't even say it today.
Oh no, you didn't. Like I said, I don't really remember it. You could do it on repeat, and I would just say Bullet Ball Extreme.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and Bullet Ball Extreme. Okay, it's done. You happy now? Also the taser. Now leave us alone.
Yes.
Episode 2597.
You leave them alone. They get excited.
They left you no 5-star reviews, and here you go having they back.
Oh
wow.
My bad.
Wow.
My
this
bad.
Is why we don't get treated. See, if you don't want better, you won't get better. Okay. Let me give y'all some relationship advice. I'm in a relationship with my listeners. And sometimes they don't be caring. Okay. Episode 2597. Who want to see smoke? That was our House of Dragon recap.
Mm-hmm.
House of the Dragon. Sean says Kristen Cole on his barely pimped out pony or Lenore on his hot and sleek dragon with rims. That's like a VW with a Rolls Royce. To paraphrase Edgar Allan Poe, deep into the darkness peering, long Damon stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the crab feeder was unbroken. The arrows of Damon in Damon's chest were broken. The only words were spoken were the whispered words, Lenore. The clouds dust parted, and upon sea smokes back, the warrior Lenore, Dracarys, he said, and nothing more. Wow, Sean, that is very smart.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, this love triangle setup seems too overt. As such, to add a twist and close the base of the triangle, I am shipping Kristen and Lenore. Color Yan for the win. All right, well, good luck. Calarian for the win. I guess Colarian. I'll see what you did there. Law says, all I know is that brown lands in the South would have enjoyed them crabs in a more culinary way. Not one gumbo pot in sight. It's odd considering how hood these names sounded. True. Like nobody had a plastic bag, nothing.
Nobody had a big old pot like your grandma had as you cook and fry your fish in and shit.
Right. EV says Damon is definitely going to be a problem if he returns to King's Landing anytime soon. Otto better watch out. I thought Otto would be a master manipulator, but he has nothing on Littlefinger. I hope Otto dies painfully because he's getting on my nerves. Yeah, Otto is just, there's no real subterfuge there. Like, unless they're going to like have some huge fucking twist where like he's cool with Damon or some shit. I'm like, this dude puts all his cards face up on the table.
Mm-hmm.
He like, this is what's in my hand.
Like, no poker face.
Lakita says because there were a lot of people responding to the poll, which is, who would you pick if you were Rhaenyra? Sir Kristen Cole or Lenore Valerian? So Lakita says she should definitely pick her non-cousin, but hell, I ain't running a kingdom with dragons and shit. Karen, what do you think for the poll?
The dude from Dawn.
Okay, that's Kristen Cole.
Mm-hmm.
It's 50-50 on the Spotify, and it's 41% Sir Kristen Cole, about 58% Lenore on our website. And I think that's probably a boost of like just being black.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Like, you know, black people probably like pick the black one, and then all that cousin fucking shit went out there, you know, just
went out the window. That don't matter no more.
He black. He look like Future. He the ancestor of Future with that
hair.
With that hair. Just get him, girl. All right, and then comments on YouTube. In Harmon says, hello guys, once again I heart you all commentary, so thank you.
Oh.
Turk says, thanks R and K for uploading to YouTube. I love seeing your faces and reactions when you talk.
Thank you.
Leonard Brother says the woman in the song that Ray kept having the dude sing is named Nymeria. Oh, like the dire wolf that Arya had. For what I've heard, she was a great warrior and leader. I saw a new Rockstars video on the episode, and they pointed out that you can actually see her name on one of the pages in the book Ray was reading. Also, Arya named a direwolf after Nymeria on the OG show. That's cool. Don't ever write in with no more facts, okay? You out here watching new Rockstars trying to pimp that off the information on us, nigga. We can watch new Rockstars if we want to. Let us make the jokes, okay? All this extra information.
Nobody want me to hear your facts.
Right. Nerd. You fucking nerd, Leonard Brothers. Leave a little nerd stuff out of here. Okay. We are trying to have fun over here. Y'all trying to ruin it with these
Y'all trying to bore us to death with your facts.
Oh, did you know Corliss was actually the richest man? No one cares. We'll make the jokes when we get to that. If it matters in the show, it'll bring it back up. I love you, Leonard Brothers. Don't be mad. Ramsey says, love the addition of crowns to the review. This is a good episode. Miss Damon bringing his sword down on Crabtree. Yeah, I wonder why they chose not to show that. You can't argue it was too gross. It's fucking Game of Thrones. Like,
Game of Thrones.
Nigga, they disembowel people for breakfast. Like, they showed like digging balls cut off in episode 1. Why the fuck did they not show? I wanted to see the Crab King get motherfucking, declawed.
That's true.
Anyway, rest in power, Crab King was the Q&A question.
Not rest in power.
KJ says Rhaenyra should marry Cisco Targaryen because the game for them thrones is nonstop Machiavellian chess shit, not a romantic comedy. Just ask the bridal party and guests of the red wedding. I'd wait, but Ignacio says, I see in thee to the next world with thine old bay. Aaron says, dang, already? I told y'all what it was, okay? I told
Roger
y'all.
called that. He was like, he has no speaking lines. Like, he is,
right. Like, I tried to tell y'all that dude was not the threat that it seemed like he was.
He can't do shit. He wouldn't be able to get nothing done. So why is he running?
Exactly. Why is he even running? Philip says, wild how all three of our main protagonists ended up covered in blood: stag blood, boar blood, and crab blood. That's true. Yamanti Ellen says, all scurvy, no fight, squeeze a lemon on him, he done. Listen, if they
not squeeze a lemon,
if motherfucking Damon had pulled out a lemon wedge after he was holding up that body,
I'd have died laughing.
Man. Oh, did you know I saw this morning someone pointed out if you have used the hashtag them thrones, the Iron Throne shows up now.
Oh, cool.
On Twitter. And I gotta say, man, just shout out to, once again, I know I've said it a million times, shout out to the Firestarter podcast. They were the first people I ever heard use them thrones. That's where I got it from. And it was just like a cool way to tweet on Sunday nights back to the original Game of Thrones. It was a whole lot of bullshit that happened with people trying to like claim ownership and not take other people's ownership, and I won't get into all that, rehash any of that. I love those guys and it's mutual. But that's huge considering like where that hashtag was just some niggas having fun and keeping up with each other. Like, oh, let's use this hashtag instead of like Game of Thrones and shit. And it started trending like every Sunday, and no matter what people do, that hashtag won't die. I know I'm part of the reason it won't die, because I'll be damned if I start using them other hashtags. I was like, nope. Like, leave me alone. I want to have fun with my friends. This is all. That's all this was ever supposed to be. It was never supposed to be deeper than that. And so,
just out here having a good time online.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, that was like, it was kind of a moment like to take in this one. I was like, look at that, man. They even HBO had to recognize this nigga shit. Ernest says Damon ran up on Mankind and won the cave match. By God, the crab feeder was broken in half. That's hilarious. Is that Damon's music on here? Raphael says
WWE happening.
right. What we need for the realm is a dragon on dragon wedding. Sprinkle some sea salt for flavor. Do it for the realm. Raina. I think Rhaenyra. Add a threesome with Sir Cole. Guaranteed strong heirs. Damon can't compete. Bestseller NFT. Typhlosion says Damon is an impossible white man. True. That was impossible white man shit when he did that episode. This motherfucker went 1 on 100 and won. And Mom says, hey, Rod and Karen, love the recaps. I just want to point out that the person telling Otto that Aegon, to get Aegon on the throne at the start of the episode is Otto's older brother, Hobart Hightower. Oh, okay. I thought he was the Meister coin. My bad. These old white people look alike sometimes. Okay. That's Game of Thrones fault. That's why we need diversity. All right.
Correct. Come on.
Okay. It's like at the 17 over 70 white men, you can't blame me. Renee says another intriguing villain taken too soon. I didn't find him very intriguing. I wonder.
I can see him being intriguing because the first time we got introduced to him, he's out there with all these goddamn crabs.
I think he was quote unquote mysterious, but intriguing to me is like wanting to know what this guy's gonna do next. What like Damon's intriguing to me. Like maybe I'm quibbling over semantics, but like I don't think he rose to the level of being intriguing for me personally. Like he never had a speaking line. I just never could get he felt like a placeholder. And I mean, ultimately, I obviously was the one that was right.
Right.
But he felt like they weren't trying to make him intriguing.
Oh, okay. And like I said, as for me, he was intriguing because he was kind of like this mysterious person in the background that you knew he was there. He kept coming up. You know, you was like, okay, let me see what it's about. Every time you seen him, he was fucking people up. You know, so I could see people like me going, okay, let's see what he's all about.
Yeah, maybe it's a semantic argument because
I think it is.
So then what do you think about Damon? Like, do you find the crab feeder as compelling as Damon to you? Or did you find him?
Not now, no.
Yeah, I mean, even before, I'm talking about before now, even before he died, the first 3 weeks, you were like, I'm as interested in this dude as I am in Damon.
How can I say this? Because with Damien, I was like, oh, he's gonna be a problem. Like I knew he was gonna be a problem, but I thought that the crab man was going to kind of be a bigger problem, if that makes sense, kind of because of the way it was presented to me. And now I'm like, oh no, Damien's gonna be the problem. So I was like, okay, now he's intriguing because now I want to know more about him. Like he's out here in the streets just wilding, just fucking up everything and doing what he want to do. And now he's the king of the waterways or whatever that place is down there at the seas. So I was like, okay, he's gonna be a problem. Now I was like, well, let's see where this goes.
Okay. Well, I think I see what's happening here. This is just one of those things where me being so much smarter than everybody else, it's throwing me off. You know, it's just obviously I could see what was gonna happen. I turned out, I was right. This nigga was not intriguing at all to me. And he was just there as a placeholder, just a tomato can to get beat up, and the way they beat him up was gonna make it. It was all just a footnote for Damon's story to be the real intriguing villain,
I can see that.
No, Karen, you've had your turn to speak.
Oh my damn!
And
well, listen
as
here.
a genius that understands TV.
You listen
writing for the same channel that this show airs on,
You
just a little something, not the flex, but when you hear that sound, I think most people think of two things: Game of Thrones and game theory. They even got the same words in the game. So I can see how it will, for the rest of y'all, how it would be intriguing to y'all, but just for me, it would, just as a TV writer.
There is a different way to put this. Your mind actually ticks differently. And it's one of those things where because you review a lot of movies and things, that's too, we movie review.
You do too.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So
that's
but
really not what the difference is. But go ahead, I'm listening.
You've always kind of seen things differently than me.
Mm.
And so, like I said, it don't make me stupid.
No one's calling y'all stupid.
It just means
I'm calling myself extremely smart. There's a difference, okay? No one's knocking y'all's average intelligence, okay? Some of y'all might even be above average intelligence. No one is here to talk bad about that. But there has to be some recognition as the person who was correct.
Yeah, she was right.
There has to be some recognition that I'm the one who was right.
Yep, Rob is right. Rob is right. Rob is right. Yep, Rob is right. Yeah, Rob is right. Whoop, what was that again? Oh yeah, Rob was right. Rob was right.
Okay, that's why they listen to our show. It's because someone has to give them the stuff that's not on these other podcasts.
That's true.
And that's what I'm here to do. Y'all welcome. Duh. I think what you wanted to write was not intriguing, but thank you, Rod. But it's okay, Renee. Rachel says, rest in pieces, you crusty homie. He had the audacity to have braids and that scraggly ass head of hair. I know, he was doing too much.
Doing too much.
Who braids that hair?
I don't know.
Like, that's the question. That's the real question. Whose shop he's sitting in? All right, let's go to these voicemails. Oh, we got 4 of them from Amon. All right, let's see what's happening here. Oh wait, it's not even playing. What's going on? Are none of these playing?
Hey, Rob.
Oh, okay.
Karen, this is Iman. I was listening to your latest episode from Tuesday, the crack episode. I can't remember the full title. But I'm listening to it now. But I had to stop because when you're talking about going to that optometrist, I was just like, wow, this seems like, it feels like me because I am a new glasses wearer. And when I was in my 20s, my doctor, he told me, he's like, oh, you have a slight astigmatism and it's going to worsen as you get older and then you'll need glasses. So I was okay in my 20s. And then I think the last 3D movie that I enjoyed watching was Avatar. And then after that, I just was like, oh, I just don't like 3D movies. But the whole thing was I probably needed glasses. And I just was like, oh no, 3D movies just aren't for me. And because now I finally have glasses, I got glasses last year. And my doctor's like, well, you really need them for night driving. And I agreed. I was like, yeah, because now it's starting to get difficult at night to drive and see everything. But one evening, I was watching TV with my husband, and we have the subtitles on, and I was like, why is it so hard to read these subtitles? And I asked him to go to the car and get my glasses, and I put them on, and then I said, oh, nigga, I can see now. And he was like, yeah, that's kind of the point of glasses. Like, why haven't you been wearing it? I was like, you have to wear this need them at night for driving. And it's just like, and I was really mad because we went to Disney World over the summer, and I forgot my glasses.
Oh, no.
I'm just not used to wearing
You didn't even see
like,
Mickey. Mickey was fuzzy and shit.
And we went on the Avatar ride, and of course it was
She got cut off. But I do want to say, because this is a distinction that needs to be made here. I already saw someone in the chat room completely misunderstand. When she said she saw Avatar in 3D, and then after that, everything else in 3D didn't really look good to her, and she thought, oh, it's 3D must just be bad in theaters. Someone was like, oh yeah, because Avatar sucked. She wasn't talking about the quality of the movie. She's talking about the quality of 3D. Nothing has ever been as good as Avatar's 3D quality in the theater.
Because they shot it in 3D. Everybody else, a lot of people did the 3D after
they do the
fact,
post.
And that shit is terrible.
And it's not the same.
No, it's not.
So when you wonder why this simple ass Fern Gully movie made all the money, where it was it made the most money in movie history at the time, was because motherfuckers was going in the theater and being like, oh, I got to experience this again. It's like going on a fucking roller coaster ride. Like, I have to feel. I remember when that fucking 3D started, and I could feel something inside of like between my eyes, like a third muscle, turn like waking up to be like, I need to really focus
Correct.
to be able to see what's happening on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it multiple times in the theater,
and nothing
and
like that had ever been done before.
The visual part of movies gets downplayed the more we get further along from to where we have streaming and we have TVs and these big TVs and OLED and all this stuff. So like at that time we didn't have all that shit. So in the theater you were getting an experience you just could not replicate on a Blu-ray, a DVD, not even a 3D TV. There was nothing else that could give you the feeling you got. So they set records with Avatar for months. Like it was just like the #1 movie. Other movies is coming out, it didn't fucking matter. Everybody want to go back and see Avatar. So that's, I think the way people have like reframed the history into like, well, the movie was really simple. Yeah, nobody said it was fucking like, oh my God, I was blown away. I couldn't believe what happened. It was a very simple, straightforward movie.
Yeah.
It just looked amazing. So that's when she says that, I could, even without the glasses thing, I could just see how that would fuck you up to be like, yeah, I guess I need glasses. It's like, well, maybe the other part is ain't nobody else even gave a fuck to give us a real 3D filming experience.
No, they haven't.
And I'm looking forward to James Cameron doing that shit again. Like I'm gonna be in the theater this year when this shit drops, because I want to feel that feeling. I haven't felt that feeling in the theater since Avatar 1. That's got to be over a decade or something.
Right, because everybody else half-assed it. And a lot of times, if you do a true 3D, the shit is fucking expensive.
Yeah, and I'm tired of these motherfuckers that were advertising. Like, it was they fucked up the IMAX 3D thing so bad after that.
Yes.
Because so many movies advertise being IMAX 3D and all this shit. Go see it in IMAX 3D. They didn't film it in 3D, and you get there and you be like, I remember literally taking my 3D glasses off, putting them back on my face and being like, I can't even tell the difference. It's just a movie.
Yes.
So yeah, Hollywood was definitely playing games with that shit.
Yeah, because it's an upcharge. So a lot of times now, they don't even do it no more. Because people are like, I'm not paying a fucking upcharge for some shit I could have seen in standard definition.
Yeah, well, that's what she was talking about. All right, now to finish the voicemail.
Hey, it's me again, Iman. Okay, finishing the story as quickly as possible. We went to Disney World. I did not have my glasses. We went on the Avatar ride. Beautiful ride. It's like in 4D. They spray water and air and stuff in your face. And my husband, when he took off, when they let us out of the seating and everything, and you feel like you're flying, he had like tears coming out of his eyes. He's like, oh, it's so beautiful. And I had to close my eyes through part of it because of my stigmatism. And I was like, I'm starting to feel dizzy. This is not right. And I said, oh, man, I should have brought my glasses. It's like, you have to come back now because I forgot my glasses. And I was just so mad at myself. And it was like, this is ridiculous. And so anyway, I'm proud of you for going to the optometrist, Karen, and getting your glasses together, because I just have to be a better glasses wearer because I'm bad at it. I always forget. And when you were saying that, I was like, oh, yeah. And I went to my console, I put my glasses on, I was like, yeah, I need to be wearing these because I forget. I'm just not used to it yet.
I think, for a lot of people.
Y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye,
sweetie.
Yeah, that could be a thing for glasses wearers. I don't think I've ever been caught at a movie theater watching a 3D movie without glasses or contacts. The main thing for me is sometimes I would forget to wear my contacts.
Right.
So now I'm wearing glasses on glasses, which it's like, it's
Yeah.
like glasses on top of 3D glasses on top of your glasses, just smudging everything up. That sucks.
Right. That's why I was like, wait a minute. Let me put contacts on before we go.
Yeah, but don't listen to Lakita. Avatar was amazing in the theaters. Okay, she don't have good taste. Let's go to the last email.
Hey y'all, it's your man's the next 713 forward Stays Crunchy and Milk podcast. Cleaning the house this morning, listening to episode 2585 with American Timeline, and one flawless interview as always.
Thank you.
You two always ask the questions that I'm thinking as I listen. And two, y'all said ain't no one famous from y'all high school, and I legit said out loud, it's y'all. You are the famous people from your high school, and that's super dope. Anyway, great week of shows as always. Just a delight to listen to. Hope you guys have a fantastic week and be well.
Oh shit.
Thank you.
I have never thought about that.
What's up?
We might be the most famous people from our high school.
Might be.
Fuck, because I knew a dude that went to Central and played quarterback, but yeah, damn.
From my high school, yeah.
Yeah, just from like some of the stuff we've been able to do.
I never thought of it like that.
It's a good point.
I didn't even think of it like that.
That's a good point. Y'all make sure y'all listen to Stay Crunchy and Milk. Okay, they out here dropping jewels on us. When I say I truly do not think of myself as a famous person, that's what I mean. Because like my experience isn't one of like I can't even go nowhere. So that's what I think fame is.
Correct.
But I guess fame is also like everywhere we do go that we try to put on an event, we do have people show up and people do listen to us all around the world, and we've had a lot of opportunities and stuff. It just yeah. So yeah, thanks, dog. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sweetie.
Emails. Let's talk about them, okay? See, the problem with these emails is they want too much, okay? Wait, I'm thinking about females. My bad.
That's something different. Drop the F.
Yeah, that's my fault. That's on me. All right, let's go to these. Our girl Lamar writes saying niggas on dragons. Yo, so far this is my favorite episode. Hey, your royal highnesses, Rod and Karen, cue the music because y'all were right. The crab feeder was a quickly dispatched problem. You know what? I would say y'all were right, but it really seemed like I was right. Karen said he was a very intriguing villain, and I was the one that told y'all. So.
I've been right about all of it. We've been right about all of it. Woo! Yes. Yes.
That's how I've been feeling. The crab feeder was a quickly dispatched problem because that nigga Damon is the real problem. Exactly. Even though I don't like him, I fucks with Damon. I know this is gonna end bad.
Oh yeah, it's gonna end real bad.
It's no way I'm supposed to be liking this dude. This is like how I must have felt to like Walter White. You know, where it's like this motherfucker is clearly evil. He has no bounds. He has no limits. Because that nigga Damon is the real problem, even though I don't follow it up, you gotta be either a fool or super strong will, maybe a bit of both, to run into a battle and fight an entire army by yourself out of spite. When he was trapped, I kept thinking, okay, when is his dragon coming? Where the dragon at? Same. Then baby Valerian flew in on the dragon, and it was so awesome. Yes, niggas on dragons. We do love to see it. Yeah, I can't imagine only one human being I know that I could think of that could do what Damon did, and that's JL Covan. Okay, JL Covan. I could see Spike motivating him enough to sacrifice everything to try to prove a point to the comedy industry. But other than that, I don't think I know a single human being that fucking crazy and spiteful that wouldn't have been like, oh, thank God, the dragons and the ships, they coming. Guys, we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, but like, what you ain't gonna do, I'm gonna go out here and tell the best comedy show of my life.
Right. They be like, it's an agent calling. No, I'm about to do this special with no agent. You waited too late, bitch. I'm burning all my material tonight.
And beat the agent with a microphone. I can see JL doing that.
There's like a few people that listen to both shows and keep up with everything. That's like, these jokes are killer. The rest of them is like, JL Covan, is that the guy that does the Trump impression?
It is.
So many people were out of pocket this episode. Otto Hightower was like, and just as a plug, check out the Righteous Brick podcast. That's JL Covan's
we love JL
podcast. That's not him being Trump, but if you like just morose, depressing, angry, hilarious comedy,
all wrapped up in one,
check out that show.
Please do.
Otto Hightower was like, you know what's always worked for you Targaryens? Incest. Let's bring that back. True. They have been trying to bring a lot of incest back. And to be frank, so did Lionel Strong. When he suggested that, that Rhaenyra should get with Lenore. I mean, that's also cousin sex. So Damon shooting the messenger, all those whack marriage proposals. I hope Rhaenyra does marry a Valerian. It would help strengthen her claim. Every freaking day she has to prove she deserves to be an heir. Even the White Stag chose her. Yeah, I think if she marries Kristen Cole, which felt like that's where they're going, or if they even just make them a romantic thing, people gonna be pissed. Because there's gonna be like, he's beneath your station. He doesn't bring anything to the LLC.
And this is my prediction. I might be wrong. I could see her marrying him out of love because her daddy says she can pick who she wants to pick. So that means the status don't matter.
Right.
And I can also, all jokes aside, and I still think she will become queen. But I could see something where she gets pissed, run off the door with him, and burn the ships just like that woman, because she's been consistently reading that fucking book. So I could see her getting her ass up and doing boring and the shit and be like, fuck y'all. And then something happens where she has to go back home.
I mean, that book is a Dawn romance novel. So I love the scene under the God's Wood with Rhaenyra listening to her iBard with Renaissance on loop. And that wasn't no Renaissance. She was depressed. That was some that was some motherfucking 808 and Heartbreaks ass, some Adele.
Yeah, she was rocking that Adele hard.
She was
in her feelings.
Like, I wish she would have been
like, repeat.
I wish she would have been playing some upbeat shit.
And somebody say Mary J. Blige. That's what she was listening to.
She was listening to Not Gonna Cry for the 18th time. And the scene with her and the king saying all the things the audience is thinking. Also, do y'all think the crab feeder guy had grayscale? I think so. He looked a little grayscale-y. He looked a lot grayscale-y. It would also explain the mask. I guess it doesn't matter because he dead. Exactly. Can't wait to listen to recap. Love y'all. Amon. Thanks, Amon. We got a comment on Podbean for our episode Freezer Dicks, which had American Timelines on it. Love the guest. Found another podcast to add to my listening. Thanks, guys.
Yay, thank you.
Akua says, good day, Lady Karian and Sir Rod Derrick of House Jackson. Seasoned me shocked to learn the news of the great seafood boil war initiated by Lord Damon and Sir Daddy Locks of him.
Not Daddy Locks.
Lord Corlys of House Valerian. I'm sure King Crab was equally surprised to be besieged by the medium to high heat of dragon flames that rained upon his lands. I absolutely enjoyed this week's episode, and I'm looking forward to how the rest of the season will unfold. Hopefully there will be another sighting of the White Hart majestically waving its antlers like a 30-inch Brazilian wavy hair, because that amused me. Haha. Sincerely, Lady Lindaya of House Jolloff. Oh,
thank you.
So you got a delicious house. Invite us over sometime. Aaron says, white people news. I don't know if you're covered this week, but do y'all know what's happening with the white people doing the Don't Worry Date Darling movie? This is white people drama I live for. I've heard bits and pieces, but it sounds like a mess. It is a mess. And I've been saving articles to talk about it.
Okay.
So maybe we'll talk about it either Sunday or Monday of next week, probably.
Okay.
So stay tuned. Jay Full says, random questions and House of the Dragon feedback. What are Rod and Karen? It's been a minute since I've sent an email, but I have a question for Rod. Rod, how many sound bites do you have saved on your soundboard? You always seem to have a perfect clip for the joke. Do you plan clips as you're planning the show, or are you coming up with the idea on the fly? Either way, it's very impressive. First of all, thank you for noticing, my friend. Second of all, it is all on the fly. I never plan the clips.
He got a lot of clips.
It's not even a soundboard. It's just a folder where I've clipped MP3s and clipped audio and made MP3s out of them. I've named them all things that I remember for the most part. And that's how I know what to play. And so sometimes it's just a pure idea from me. Sometimes Karen or Justin, because they know the soundboard so well.
Yeah, we start joking.
They'll make a joke and then you can hear me kind of vamping or, taking a second to find the clip. But yeah, so they're just all on here, and just some of them we almost never use because literally that shit was funny in the context of it, and then it's I can't think of a way to make it funny again.
Right.
But yeah, there's a bunch of them.
You're gonna be great now, sweetheart. You're turning red from your back.
Girl,
you can't get no infection in your booty hole. It's a booty hole.
You know, there's this one. Me and Justin used to watch this TV show called called Animals.
Give a shit about your molting, fucker. Fucking blow my head off. I'm gonna need any wings. I'm gonna slam my little fucking head into a wall. Batter my brains open.
Hey, Alan?
Hey, what's up, dog?
Hey, man.
Hey, man. What's up, man? Yo, what's up?
Hey.
I'm just chilling over here, you know, just fucking maxing the club.
Like, there's no reason for me to ever play that clip again.
And for those people that, particularly if you listen to Ball Deep's Sports Online live in the chat, it's a running joke whenever crime time happens.
How much evil, which we call it crime. Watch how much crime picks up if you take away our game.
Why do you think that would happen?
There's nothing else to do, Sal. And so it's just like a running joke.
So yeah, it's all random. It's not planned, and yeah, sometimes it just hits you and you get the inspiration. And then sometimes we go a whole show and I just fucking forget that the box is there, and I'm like, oh man, I could have played some
just
clips.
promise me you're gonna smoke his ass
like a motherfucking pack of cools.
Could have had used that, and I forgot to use it.
I know that might sound stupid. What's the difference between what you do and the soundboard?
A soundboard is like you have corresponding like buttons with like to the clip. And so instead of like me looking up like, oh, fuck you, who's next? Let me go find that clip. They literally just hit a button and it plays the fuck you, who's next clip.
Okay.
Yeah. So and you can make like a soundboard with your phone. That's what Andy Klein used to do. You can buy an actual soundboard. There's soundboards online that are like you go to a website, you have saved these clips and you press the button. But this is just the way that I use, and you know, with this computer, it works. So.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to know what's the difference.
It's okay.
And you, we heard about you before you even got up here. While you have a chance, you need to be trying to get an education because your looks ain't gonna get you paid. Because you're not that cute. And your hair is uneven. You look dusty. So I'm saying, what else are you gonna do besides pander, rob, steal, try to trick some girl up out of her baby's check or something?
I'm from Brooklyn, so I'm from New York. What's really good, son? I don't play no games, yo.
Don't play no games.
So, that kind of stuff. I was trying to get my girlfriend to listen to your house of the Dragon recaps, and I just put it on while we were chilling. Seeing someone listen for the first time made me truly appreciate how Rod always has a sound clip to amplify the joke. It's like adding the perfect hot sauce to a meal. Like sometimes you need Tabasco, sometimes you need Cholula or Tapatio. I hope I said that right. Or sometimes the perfect hot sauce is something you've never tried before. Yeah, I think that's one of the things I started thinking about with the show is like, to me, it's like jazz sometimes, right? Ours is always improvisational. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, you know, I'll play a clip and it kind of miss, you know, where I'm like, damn, I thought this, or I kicked the wrong clip or something, you know, like that happens every once in a while too. I'm like, or another thing that's been happening is when I first started doing the show, I had longer clips. Mm-hmm. So like it will be a clip from a movie and I really didn't know enough. So I would, instead of cutting it down to like 4 seconds, it would be like 45 seconds for me to hear this one little part.
Yes, you started plugging out. And the thing is, particularly me and Justin, when he does Balls Deep with us, which we be off the rail sometimes, we know the clip so good that a lot of times we'll quote them. Like, so, you know, it's funny, like we'll quote them because it's just like, that's what kind of pop in your head at the time.
Yeah, and it just depends. Like people have their own favorite clips. I think I have mine, and some of them I try to work in, some don't work, you know, that kind of stuff. But thank you for noticing. Anyway, Damon would have got drafted in the first round of NFL draft the way he was dodging them arrows.
Come on.
Listen.
He bit a bomb. T.E.
Rickon Stark would be looking like hating Nebraska nigga from Belly if he were alive. Bro, I thought about Rickon's ass when I saw him dodging them arrows. And I was like, man, we told Rickon to run zigzag, but to be frank, he just wasn't fast enough. Damon ass ran a straight line.
Yes.
And now Nan Arrow was getting him for like a good 5 minutes of that fight.
He was fucking him up.
I listened to 3 different recap podcasts, but nothing compares to y'all's ability to layer in blackness and humor. I constantly have to resist the urge to listen to recaps on Wednesday nights, so I can have something for work on Thursday. The recap followed by Firestarter makes me forget it's not the weekend yet. Bro, I used to be there right with your ass, okay? when I worked in the office, I would save like my favorite shows and the ones that I really enjoyed. I'd be like, yo, last part of this week, I'm gonna need y'all.
Help me get through it.
Need y'all to come through.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of times we hear people and they be like, it got to be this long, got to be that long, and I'm like, well, we don't fit none of them stereotypes. And a lot of people just pile us up. They be like, look, I have a long ass work day. Y'all help me get through this long ass commute sitting in this traffic or the bus travel or stuff like that. Like everybody don't want like shorter things. I listen to short things too. But when I do, a lot of times I just run through them because they're so short. So I have a tendency to flock towards longer things also.
Listen, a 4-hour fire starter has got me through plenty of Fridays.
That's half your goddamn day.
Plenty of Friday. I'll be like, boy, after I get back from lunch, throw on the fire starter and I'm good. But yeah, and I, listen, I don't listen to other recap podcasts, and it's not out of like disrespect or anything like that.
Not.
It's mostly out of the fact that it's kind of like when people do stand up, and if you stay around listening to a lot of other people's stand-ups, the line between what they think is funny and their jokes and stuff and your jokes, it starts getting thinner and thinner. And you can just accidentally bring up a concept from their shit. And man, after that damn throne shit, it's like people are super territorial over this kind of stuff. In a way that I'm not. Like, I love when somebody else hopefully they cite you, give you your credit, but I love when something that we've been saying on here makes it into like a kind of a pop culture or just a cultural zeitgeist, where people are just like, oh yeah, the Freaky Prince, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I heard the Freaky Prince from Firestarter. That's like I'm looking at it like that's dope.
Yes, we give
like just
credit,
give them credit and then that's it. You don't have to
give credit where credit's due.
But I think after the whole Dumb Thrones thing, I just see how territorial people can be, and I don't approach anything with that spirit. I'm not. I don't like. It's not even. That's not even fun for me.
No, it's not.
And I don't have any jealousy in me like that. So like when HBO tweeted out Dumb Thrones, I just felt like that was the work of all the people that have been celebrating that community being recognized and celebrated as like, look at this black shit that fucking made it to this level of recognition because it was so undeniable and so much, low-key better than the white people shit that was covering it.
Yes, and also being on the internet and just because we're all out there together, once you kind of put something in the open, you have no control of it anymore. And so we've seen, like, outside of the throne, we've seen other incidents where it just became a big thing where people became very territorial versus, once somebody else consumes it, it's hard to tell them what they can and cannot do with it once they consume it for themselves.
And it just depends on the people, honestly. But the main thing I wanted to say from that is I love when people say that our recaps are like, oh, y'all my favorite recap, or y'all are so different than everybody else. That's what I love to hear, because it's all us. It's not, oh, I listen to other people and then I try to do the opposite of them, or I listen to other people and I try to incorporate what they do into what we do. No. If you love something on here, just know that it came straight from me and Karen, and you won't see that anywhere else.
Right. And we ain't, like I said, we're not copying or mimicking. We're not out to get nobody. Like, everything we do is just as truly in love.
But I have a tremendous amount of pride in that, is my point. And maybe after the season I can like go listen to some other, because we have friends that do recaps, friends that talk about their shows and stuff, and it's just a process thing for me. I would hate to be like, oh, I listen to someone else's show and then this idea from them is the thing that, maybe if we had guests on the show or something and they brought in ideas, maybe that would be different. But I kind of I'm prideful of that, of it's just us two and we're out here doing it, but yeah, I listened to 3 different yeah, thanks. That's all for now. J Full PS Karen has been on fire with the jokes lately.
Yay! I'm glad y'all think I'm funny.
She has been, and I love to see it. It's great. And I'm glad that y'all are recognizing that and writing in and saying that, because I always, I end the show and I'm always like, oh, she's so funny, she's so great, this is all good, and then some of the stuff that's been happening lately, I just feel like, you've been trying to and taking more adventurous chances with your jokes and stuff.
Yes.
And I think that's something, we talked about just behind the scenes for years. It's like, hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't try. And if you know, I'm not gonna let you fail. Like I'm not gonna like I'm never gonna be like, what the fuck you mean by that? You know, I'm gonna always be like, how can we make this work? How can we make it even better? But you know, I think you're just in your bag. You've been very comfortable, and you've been just, you know, your mind works in ways that my mind doesn't. So you just see jokes and make jokes sometimes that it's just like
and make connections. Damn. And it's and what's funny to me is that sometimes my mind be so in left field, you ask me to explain it, which I don't mind explaining it. You be like, oh, okay. And I'll be like, because I think to myself, well, maybe I'm not making it right. But I process, I'll be like, no, that connection is funny.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff over here. So I can't even always catch stuff all the time. Sometimes I don't catch stuff until I'm editing the show, and I'll be like, oh my God, that was so funny. I would, you know, and I feel bad, like, fuck, I missed that. I was looking at the next article, or I was, you know, looking at the time and all this other shit that I have to do to make the show work. But I'm, you know, I just think some of your stuff has just been so funny. It's undeniable the last few weeks. It's just so good.
And I
haven't been missing it.
And I actually really, truth be told, I've actually am really glad that we decided to redo Game of Thrones, because, and I love doing all the shows, but I actually really look forward to recapping that with you, because it is so much fun, you know, just to look at it from our perspective and poke fun and poke jokes and, you know, kind of modernize it. Like, I look forward to that probably as much and maybe more than the fans do. And so I think that I am glad that they actually allow me to tell the joke. And I don't mean, and not to quote unquote fail, but to tell the joke. And even if it's bad, that's part of the joke, is that it's bad.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not even just about bad jokes though, or whatever. I mean, the attempt is the main thing. And if you get better with each attempt, but if you don't attempt, you just never gonna get good. And you know, there's stuff that you just have really just been in your bag about the last few weeks, especially, where it's just, like I said, it's undeniable to me at this point.
Yay!
So keep it up, no pressure.
No problem.
Crack Attack. This is a comment we got from Podbean that says, I probably have $7,000 in wealth somewhere, but feeding, especially boys, growth spurts, camps, school supplies, activities to tame energy and replacing things they break. It must have. I would imagine that it's really knocked down the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's the thing. Like, it's easy to at least with what do you call it, with in America. I can't say everywhere, obviously, because I don't know enough about living everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But at least with America, it definitely feels like the money of just having a kid or some shit is tremendous and takes a big toll on the household. I don't know how it can't.
Yeah, it affects the household whether you want it to or not. And I remember, you know, particularly being younger, and like I said, I am a lot calmer now because I'm older. But when I was younger, I used to get angry. People said, well, just go ahead and have them. I was like, and then I would look at them. I was like, do you know it's not as simple as have them? Because then you have them, you have to actually take care of them. Like, it's more than just pop a baby out and that's the end. Like, after that, it's a whole human being that you have to invest a lot into, which is fine, you know, but people act like you just have them and you figure the shit out on your own. And for a lot of people, that's fine. But for me, I just didn't want to just figure the shit out on my own, because I was like, well, y'all make that shit sound like it's simple, but it's not.
Yeah, it feels very much like Make It Enough. Not to mention, in America, one of the leading causes of people going into poverty is having kids. Once again, that book I was reading, breaking down the myths of poverty, you know, where they were like, family, people that have strong families, you don't have to worry about poverty. And Republicans always pitch that we don't need to help people if they would just get married and have families. And it's like, well, one of the leading causes of being broke is having kids. So that life change actually isn't what you said it is.
Right. And also when they say family and shit, what do you do when everybody around you doesn't have all this generational wealth and all that stuff either? So you don't have this quote unquote network of people, particularly financially. They can give you time, they can give you other things, but sometimes financially it ain't there.
John writes in, oh, and I'm sorry, your comment got cut off because apparently Podbean means I have to download the app to see the. I didn't realize all this before the show. I thought you could just read the comment. I guess only if it's short. John says, good morning, Rod and Karen. Just wanted to chime in that I fully share your frustration with the fact that, as you put it, if enough white people think something is false, it's true. If enough people think something false is true, it becomes de facto true as it's treated in our society. I think the right has understood this for a while. Karl Rove once said, people in the reality-based community believe that solutions emerge from a judicious study of discernible reality. That's not the way the world works anymore. He and his fellow Republicans understood that if you have enough people to go along with you, you can simply push falsehoods and they will become widely accepted because too many people don't care enough to push back and the media is too scared to do so.
Right.
We've seen this with global warming denialism, deny the role that guns play in our culture of violence, and now most vividly, the incredible amount of flat out denialism around COVID and the effectiveness of the vaccines. Congrats on your boosters, by the way. About 30% of our population simply cannot be reasoned with and will not accept any factual evidence that conflicts with their views. And that's all that is needed to perpetuate this intractable problem. Yeah, because, you know, and I specifically said white people, like, because I can't think of no other group that's allowed that kind of room in America where we could be like, we all believe some bullshit. Now the government need to go ahead and operate on what we think. Like everybody else is told no.
Yep, and they will come and shut your ass down and burn the shit down and bomb the shit. We have history of whenever we do shit that they don't like, they stop it.
Yeah. The GOP knows this and weaponizes it very effectively. I have to say that unfortunately a lot of the language on the left with regards to letting people speak my truth, which was a good thing since marginalized groups need this to get through to those of us with privileged blinders, has also been co-opted by the right. And now white people are using this for lack of a better word, moral relativism approach to justify their bullshit. I've seen white people claiming that their racism, misogyny, transphobia, etc. are their truth. Side these motherfuckers. Yeah, J.K. Rowling is one of those people. She says her transphobia is just her being a woman, and anybody that would talk down against it is the real bullies. I'm the victim here. I'm just speaking my truth that transgender women are going in bathrooms and raping people and killing them and shit. And it's
even though there's no documentations, nothing to back this up, or any of those things.
Karen, you are absolutely right about the way Republicans are using the government to try to destroy the government itself. That has always been their plan, going back to Reagan and probably earlier. Remember when W came into office and fired a bunch of U.S. attorneys because they weren't Republicans? The GOP learned that they can get away with this shit most of the time and are now doing this for school boards, state governments, the courts, you name it. And there's a win-win for them because then when the shit gets totally fucked up, they can just say, you see, the government is the problem, and their voters will cheer. Rod, I think we need a name for the hive for all of us Garland stands. Garland gang? I don't know, but you're the writer. Did you know that Garland has been tutoring inner city school students for years? I had no idea, but just stumbled across this article the other day. Like Biden, he really seems like a decent person. I'm totally here for the no fucks left. Biden, bring it. Yeah, I think, and no, I didn't know about this, but yeah, I think one of the interesting things with social media is because everyone has to be so cynical and negative, and you know, a lot of times when people don't know better, they pretend to just like everything's shit, right? Fuck those guys
because they don't want to do no research and learn.
But one of the things I think people don't understand is like, for quote unquote good white people look like Joe Biden. They look like Merrick Garland, by which I mean it's not that they don't make mistakes. That's impossible. There's never been a white person that hasn't made mistakes racially that knows everything. They fuck up all the time, and all privileged groups of people have this. Every man fucks up, every straight person every cisgender person fucks up, because you don't know everything and you're human, and everyone makes mistakes. And every marginalized person knows this because marginalized people make mistakes, right? Just you can you can be privileged in some other area, or you can just fuck up just as a human being. We make mistakes. To me, the things that show that you're about it, to me, are you sticking around, right? Like this thing of like you fuck up and then you just leave us on our own and go away forever. That only sounds right on social media.
Correct.
Where it's like, just leave then. It's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but if somebody in a position of power that can affect my community makes a mistake, I want them to either fix the mistake or like show me that they're gonna stick with us through the mistake. I don't want them running from this and pretending it didn't happen. I don't want them abandoning ship like, oops, I made a mistake. Well, I'm not perfect anymore. No need to fucking do this job. Like, nah, this is what it looks like.
Correct. And with social media, it's one and done. Social media is like, you fucked up, that's the end. But at the same time, you need white people to get shit done. I don't know why niggas don't understand this. You can't run all the white people off and then be like, why can't we get shit done?
Yeah, it's just I'm not like, it's not just even all white people. I'm just saying like things that are strength to me are things that people think are weaknesses. It's like, to me, it's why Trump got elected, because Trump to a lot of people was, oh, he's never had this position of power. He has no experience in the government. What's the worst thing that can happen? It's far better to have him than someone like Hillary Clinton, who's had experience, which means because she's had experience, she's had failures and successes. Mm-hmm. And we're going to look at only her failures and be like, these all count against her, and none of her successes count positive. We're going to look at Donald Trump and say, well, he has no failures in the government. He has failures in life, but we don't need, those ain't the government. And you end up with inexperienced people. It's the reason that they loved AOC when she showed up. Mm-hmm. And now a lot of people are either tepid on her, some people have turned on her, or some people have to go full out like stand. Like, I can't be rational and reasonable.
Right.
Anytime her name came up, I want to fight somebody.
Because she's been in the government long enough where she had to stand on shit.
Right. Now she has a track record, and it's not as easy as when it was 2-3 years ago. She hadn't even voted on anything. She has all the answers. Let her run the country. Okay, well, now you look back and you go, well, I didn't really agree with this. Oh, she compromised on that. Okay, she didn't cunt out that. Oh, I don't like that she didn't do. And now it starts to erode. And I'm like, no, this is what is going to make or break her legacy. It's her sticking through this. I remember I'll never forget when she was hinting at not even running for re-election and possibly just going off in this, like, I don't need this shit. And I was like, that is a huge mistake if you do that.
Right.
Stick it out.
Because you're actually needed.
If you really do believe the things you're saying and you really want to help people, stick through the fact that the Chapo Trap House turned on you. Stick through the fact that you thought Jimmy Dior, whatever, that dude, you thought he was a good dude and he turned out to be a piece of shit. Right. Stick through those things, because that's what a real politician has to do. It can't all be fun and good and easy. Some of the times you have to do the work of it. And that's what I appreciate about people that stick around.
And also, it's about longevity of relationships with people. You know, Joe Biden has a longevity of relationships with Black people.
Why did he win South Carolina?
It's no denying behind that. And that's why when Bernie came, people was like, nigga, we don't know you. And people act like, what do y'all mean? We don't know you.
Right.
Who's your people?
They call it Black people the establishment and shit, when it's really just, hey, man, Joe Biden's built 40 years of inroads with us in South Carolina. This dude, Bernie, never even looked our direction until he was running for president and thought he needed something from us. And came down here, didn't listen to everybody, prescribed his general shit, refused to talk about race, refused to talk about reparations and shit. So yeah, you're not gonna blow everybody away with that. Like, they're not batting their eyes like, he looked at us. They're looking at you like, bro, prove yourself. And you go, but Joe Biden, he's made mistakes over the 40 years you've known him. We're like, because we've known him 40 years. Of course he made mistakes. You know, like, I'm not even trying to cape for him. I'm just saying this is the reality of life is a good white person, quote unquote, is a motherfucker that sticks around through the mistakes, because they gonna make them.
Right. Everybody does, but yes.
Yes, dude. You look why Black people love people like Bill Clinton and shit. It's all just sticking it out. It's not, they're perfect. And everyone that social media brought that kind of thinking to the forefront of, no, the only good way to be is to be perfect, and anything less, you shouldn't even vote. And it's like, no, shut up. Anyway, Garland Gang sounds great. Been really enjoying the House of the Dragon recaps. Damon and Melania really thought they could just sneak through those classified dragon eggs back to Mar-a-Lago. But Renaria swooped in like Merrick Garland on her fire-breathing search warrant. Good, so good. That's a great comparison. P.S. Rod, I gotta say I was impressed with your knowledge of Boston slang in your pregame episode with Justin. You gotta spit the phrases like wicked fucking pisser out and about twice as fast to really sound like a local, but your pronunciation is pretty good. Oh, okay. Yeah, as you can see, I only know this stuff from just reading it off the internet and watching movies. So I watched it Departed like 3 times. That's where I'm going. Having grown up there, I'm biased. But Boston really is a beautiful city with tons of great history, tours, etc. This feels a lot like Seattle. And during the fall, when the leaves change, it's one of the most stunning places in the world. If you ever get a chance to visit, I think you might dig it. And it's only a couple hours from NYC. Stay safe. Love, John. Thanks, John. I've been to Boston before on a college tour when I was in high school, but we didn't stay long and we didn't do much. It was like we went to whatever campus it was up there, and then we like got back on the bus. But yeah, I think Boston gets it the hardest because it's a northern city that has like an aggressive aggressive group of people that live there that are actively like, don't you compare us, don't you say our city is racist,
right?
And then a lot of black people that have had bad experiences there and some racial scandals that they've had there that then lead people to attack it. And so it's the reputation is kind of become like it precedes the city at this point. I doubt it can even be as bad as I think it is, because like if it was that bad, it would be like in the heat of the night, you know what I mean? So like,
not in the heat of the night. That's old school racism.
Shout out to those of us that,
boy, what you doing out here?
Shout out to those of us that our grandmamas was our babysitters. Okay,
come on,
y'all know the vibes.
That and General Hospital.
Yeah, y'all know the heat of the night vibes.
Mm-hmm.
House of the Dragon episode 3. Dune Dragon says, "Hey Karen and Rod, jumping straight to it. Trying to keep it short, but the episode in your podcast is too good. I was saddened to hear that Cisco Targaryen and them are purely seafarers with no dragons in this conversation with Daemon. Nonetheless, I was happy they introduced M'Baku Targaryen this episode on the beach. You almost got my double entendre last time with Cisco Targaryen. It was his nephew that came down playing Unleash the Dragon. Oh, I also thought it was Bloodworm, but on second viewing, I saw it did not have the gravity to find long ass neck. Yeah, man. Listen, I thought it was Bloodworm because they had never talked about these niggas flying dragons.
Mm-mm.
I would have led with that if I was Corliss. I'm like, now you know we be flying them dragons too, player. But they were, for some reason, when Corliss talked to Daemon and that speech he talked about being the second sons of the realm, he literally said, well, unlike the Targaryens, we didn't have dragons. And I was like, so these niggas don't drive dragons? Couldn't be me. And I was right. It couldn't be because they do drive dragons. Y'all niggas gonna make me unleash the dragon. I know you don't really want to unleash the dragon. Archers. Crabman, help me sing. Crabman, help me sing. Drew Hill used to shout at you.
Yes, I was here for it.
And the face M'Baku had on the face M'Baku had on his face when Daemon came out. Oh, the look M'Baku had on his face when Daemon came out with the half Krabby Patty. You know, all black Targaryens will be backing Daemon going forward. Yep. Your point on there being no clear-cut heroes and villains is true, as I'm already team black Targaryen. It looks like I'm automatically team Daemon for now. I wonder what their fate would be in the show. None are around 172 years later, unless Daenerys was light-skinned. Yeah, man. All I know is like I want to root for them because they black, obviously, but them niggas did betray the crown. They siding with Damon. I think Damon's gonna be a problem. I don't think Damon's a good ally.
It's not gonna end well. Yep, he gonna turn on something. Gonna happen.
I just don't. I can see Damon easily turning on them niggas the first time they say no to something. Because in fairness, Corliss did come to Damon to beg him to fight that war. Is Rhaenyra 17 in this episode? The way years have been jumping from episodes 1 to 3, I thought she was in her 20s by now. No, she's 17. The reason I know is the king said in the at the party, the birthday party, when he was talking to I believe Lionel Strong, he said my own daughter of 7 and 10. So that's 17. I hope the pace of the series stays as it is. A bunch of friends have jumped on the Dem Thrones bandwagon. Thanks for the free funny piece, Doom Dragon. Thank you.
Yay!
And I hope it stay this pace too. I don't care. Fly through them actors. I listen. If they was to me, that's just twice the employment. They got a different little black boy to play Lenore, and I said, good. I believe it. Let's go. Like I saw a couple memes. It's like, so in 3 years, Rhaenyra looks the same because you play by the same actress. But all this happened to this black boy in 3 years. I was like,
y'all know we age fast. Quit playing.
You know a black 14 is a white 17 according to the cops. Okay, you know that.
We age up quick.
Listen,
Stop playing.
Lenore gonna get tried as an adult. You know that, and I know that. Can't even play wrestling moves with his little sister. Okay. KJ says, hey, Rod and Karen, just reaching out to say thanks, fam. Started listening to the podcast when I moved back to the U.S. in 2007, when I found Kevin Smith's Smartcast Network, where every episode of every show was white people news, LOL. In May 2015, I finally addressed my need to hear from non-Hotep black creators in the pod game and found the show the way the most citizens of the Tips Nation did. I threw black in the search bar and voila, the promised land, LOL.
I'm glad we kept that name because I think that's how a lot percentage they was like, what is black?
I'm finally current on the regular feed and said, damn it, today's the day I write in. The nuance, the care, the craft, the work, dedication, and intentionality in your words, the beautiful, unfiltered, unadulterated blackness. It's so appreciated. One could say it's lip smacking good.
Hey.
Yeah. And he put the shades on emoji and the shaking my head emoji. Which I think is the same translation for
yes. Won't be fooled again. That's my jam.
Anyway, LOL, to borrow from the, and also like thank you for those words of encouragement and affirmation, man. That's like okay, that's like Professor LCH level of hyping us up. Okay, we love it.
We love it.
Anyway, LOL, to borrow from then presidential candidate and known militant Josiah R. Byron. And the R stands for revolutionary. LOL. If you heard but don't fuck with this show, you ain't black. LOL. Love the show. Thanks for the consistency, your boy KJ. Okay, then a PS. You don't gotta read this on the show. Well, I'm gonna read it on the show. Okay, you didn't say not to read it, but we don't mind. Okay, it's a little long. It's fine. I was born in the States but grew up in St. Croix in U.S. Virgin Islands in Israel, which explains the flags on my Twitter. My folks fell in with the Hebrew Israelite cult and sent me to live in fucking Hotel Mecca, Israel in 92 when I was 9 years old. I found the show right after I finally got comfortable with the realization that I was an atheist. After purging myself from all the Hotep indoctrination that never really stuck, thank God, right? Them niggas. Wow. It made me a better husband, father, and a man. So I was both happy and empowered by the realization that also completely alone. None of the fellows in my social circles in the 3 countries I can call home share my core values and views. So pushing back on homophobia and misogyny made me the odd man out, bruh.
I can see that.
I feel you, man. And it's hard. Like, I don't mean to complain because I know that there's a lot of people that have it harder, blah, blah, blah. But it's my life and this is the hardship I'm talking about. Yo, it's hard to find like friends, like straight male friends that aren't about some bullshit. You know, like there's just levels of just like, well, I guess I gotta deal with the fact that this motherfucker's gonna be homophobic. Okay, I guess we just can never, hopefully this celebrity or this person's name never comes up because they're gonna start talking about transphobic shit.
Right.
Or you know, you hope that they, you know, they don't have too many fucked up views on women and stuff. And I don't even mean it like I'm some fucking like Debbie Downer ass nigga, because I'm not. People love me. They love hanging out with me. I'm the life of the party and all that shit when it comes to like, you know, my interpersonal relationships.
Yeah, you're very popular. We be out all the time. People like, hey, especially with a lot of dudes you play ball with.
Yeah, people love hanging out with me. And I'm like, so it's not like a Sunday school, like it's not some after school special shit, but you know, there's people where I'm like, we're just not gonna be that tight because I don't have the fucking bandwidth to always be correcting your ass, and or even just addressing what you're saying, because I know how this goes over the years now, where people either stuck in their ways or they act like you brought them some level of enlightenment, but the social peer pressure to be fucked up is so hard and heavy on niggas that they'll just, when you not around, it's like, I'm back to being fucked up. This is hilarious to me. So yeah, man, I think a lot of that stuff, I say a lot of that stuff, I talk to my friends the way that I talk on the show. But there's just a level of understanding that I get that not everybody's where I'm at. I'm not even where I'm gonna be in more years. Like hopefully 5 years from now, I'm like, oh, I think differently than I thought. And you know, I learned more than I had known at that time, you know. So but all that to say, yes, I feel you on that so hard, bro. It's like the amount of my social circle that is small is because a lot of that stuff, you know. Hearing another black man say the things you do, Rod, helped me so much. So when I say thank you, I really mean it. This show is a lifeline for me, man. Thank you.
Thank you, baby.
You know, there was a dude I mean, it was a funny comment, but it was fucked up, right? On our YouTube, I ended up deleting the comment, but it was like, you know, y'all finally got, it was clearly like talking shit about me, but it was like, I see y'all finally got on YouTube, and you know, glad to see y'all still doing the show. I can't listen because every time I listen, I just think Rod's gonna cry, and I tell my friends to listen to it, but they say the same thing. It's clearly them trying to be like, you a bitch, you know, whatever. But I was like, that's fine. If you can't handle, I don't be crying every episode, but if you can't handle the idea that a black man will have an emotional range beyond just anger and comedy,
right,
then move on. Like,
yeah,
you know,
you emotionally stunted. There's something wrong with you.
It's like how some people can't appreciate the 3D majesty of Avatar in the theater. Like, everybody don't have the range, sis. Okay, some people have more taste and sophistication than others, and that's the world I've been cursed to live in. Is a world where my intelligence and my palate is so far above other people.
You looked and saw my intelligence.
Okay, you looked and saw my intelligence. We did get some stuff in the mail.
Yay!
I don't know if y'all know, but it was Blackout Tips Day about a week ago. Hey, and our Amazon wish list is in the show notes of every one of our episodes. So think somebody hit up our Amazon wish list. Let me pull out these packages. Karen, Vamp.
Yes, while Roger is getting the packages, I want everybody to know they can continue to leave us 5-star reviews. We're looking forward to the 5-star reviews. We thank you all for your emails and your phone calls. You guys are the reason why we're even able to do this show. This show is not about us. This show is about you. And shout out to the chat room. Y'all have spent y'all Saturday with, I guess it's nighttime, with me and Roderick, and that means a lot. There's a lot of y'all in here tonight. So
Vamp over with. Let's go.
Okay. All right. And the vamp.
All right. So we got.
Now I can talk.
We got a Berkshire blanket. This must be something Karen put on the list. Okay.
Probably is.
She's always cold. All right.
Y'all see, for those of you that's live, I really been loving my M&M blanket I got when I went to the M&M store.
Throw blanket.
I love me a fleece. I got about 5 fleeces in this bitch.
Throws, blankets, bedding sheets, loungewear, robes. This is a extra large throw. So it's like you could just I I guess throw that on. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
shit, I got something else to wrap me up in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this shit is good and soft too. Let's go, softness.
It was feeling very luxurious over there. It felt expensive.
Oh yeah. Thank you
Okay.
very, very much. Did they say who sent it?
No, and I'm looking in to see if maybe it'll say it, because remember we had a person that said there were two different gifts. Okay, Tiffany. I wouldn't be surprised if Tiffany sent both of these, because you said one gift was coming separate for you later and one was going to be here for me sooner.
Okay.
All right, so this is,
I'm gonna wrap up in my blanket right now.
oh my goodness.
Yes, bitch.
Oh, this is exactly what I need. Okay. We got a candle, y'all. And I think you know what the flavor is. If you know me, okay. If my reputation precedes me, I fall so hard, pumpkins want to spice me. Fall so hard, pumpkins want to spice me.
Oh shit now.
That shit crack. Leggings, scarves, boots, and pumpkin spice everything. Okay. Hand poured in Snohomish. Oh yes, shout out to Snohomish. And it's from Malicious Women is the name of it. Pure maliciousness. And what does it say here? Illuminating the way, one candle at a time. Let me get a sniff of this. Oh Lord Jesus, yes.
Yes, honey.
Just the good stuff.
I don't know what good material animal this made out of, but bitch, this feels like silk. Feels good. I like this.
Direwolf skin, probably.
That's fine. I like this, baby. Thank you.
Just in time too, because as y'all can see in the chat room, my pumpkin bourbon candle is almost out. So I'll be sparking this bitch up next. Shout out to I Fall So Hard, pumpkins want to spice me. Okay, and it's infused with them leggings, scarves, boots, and pumpkin spice everything. Okay.
Oh, thank you, baby. I got another fleece to pile up in here in this room, so I need to put them all in a rotation. Honey, I like me a good fleece.
She left a note. Happy anniversary, Rod and Karen and the Blackout Tips Pod. I noticed on YouTube Karen is always bundled up, so I thought she would love this throw. And we all know how much Rod loves pumpkin things. Enjoy, Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Tiffany. And this thing feels great. And honey, it's something else to be wrapped up. But I'm always cold, so I actually like this. And
it goes good with your crown.
Yeah. Somebody asked, do we have a weighted blanket? Yes, we got a weighted blanket, and pretty soon I probably have to take some time off. We're going to be going and doing our annual Trader Joe's a pumpkin spree, where we just go in there and just buy everything pumpkin.
You gotta go pumpkin
from Trader Joe's. That's our yearly thing. So I can't wait to try all the cookies and crackers and everything else pumpkin flavored from Trader Joe's. Let's go.
All right, y'all. That's it. We'll be back later on in the week. We appreciate everybody for leaving all this feedback for us to respond to. We'd like to get some 5-star reviews out there. And honestly, after how sassy I was this episode, I do get it. I know what I did too. All right, y'all. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.